Hello, Oracles. Well, we have a lot to go over today. Here I am hiking the North and South Fortuna Peaks in San Diego, enjoying my vacation here. And ironically, I was thinking, the Fortunas, and what happens this morning? Well, we get the CPI data that comes in beating expectations. Expectations were 8.7% for the headline number and 6.1% for the core inflation number, and we ended up coming in at 8.5% and 5.9% respectively. So we beat on both ends of inflation. And with that, the market was excited and our fortune started to grow. Now, we also got some news yesterday about Elon selling his shares. So we will go over all of that as well to go over, is he done selling? Is there any more selling to go? What other news does this have to bring? And then we got some news about the semi-truck as well. Amazing stuff that we had going on yesterday. So the first thing to discuss is the CPI number, because that is what is going to affect the entire macro. That is what has been ruling us for the entire year. So with the expectations being beat, this is a great sign. Obviously, we saw this morning the market already rallied and cheered off of this. So what does that mean going forward? Well, the Fed had mentioned previously that, looking at the inflation, they're really focusing on the core inflation. And as long as they are bringing the core inflation down, and it is trending down, there is a potential that they could pause. So, with the inflation beating expectations, does this mean that the Fed can pause? This I don't know, because we did beat expectations, but don't forget, inflation is still extremely high. So, with that said, we probably have to wait until we hear something from the Fed talking about these numbers, and then we're going to have to wait until September CPI numbers, because the Fed has been talking all along about the fact that they are going by data points, and the more data points they get that indicate that they can pause, that is what is going to give them the indication as to what they need to do with rates. So they still have a lot of data points to get between now and the next FOMC meeting at the end of September. So this is a great sign. This is a step in the right direction that we wanted to see. So now we just continue to follow the data and see what happens from here to see what the Fed is going to do with raising rates. I still maintain that we will be seeing a pause or an increase of rates lower than expected come September, due to the fact that we are seeing these data points coming down and we've got election time coming up. But of course, anything can happen. So next huge news that came out was Elon was selling shares. Now, this is something many people anticipated as a possibility, with Elon having to sell more shares in order to purchase Twitter. And yesterday we saw the Form 4 filing coming out, and Elon sold 7.92 million shares for the ironic $6.9 billion at an average price of $869.09. So Elon answered some questions on Twitter yesterday to explain what was going on, and people said, "Are you done selling?" He said yes, so he is done selling. And he said he did this as a backup plan, just in case he is forced to buy Twitter and some of his equity partners back out of the deal. So he also did respond with, if the deal does not go through, he will purchase Tesla again. And I guess theoretically we can constitute that as a share buyback. So this means that this Twitter overhang is basically over. So that means that worst case scenario has played out. Elon has sold more shares in order to purchase Twitter. And now at this point, if the sale goes through, we are good. No big deal. Elon has the money he needs to finalize the purchase of Twitter. If anything less than the initial purchase price goes through, or the deal does not go through at all, that means that Elon will not be selling any more shares and could actually purchase back Tesla shares, which could then run the stock back up again. So this is awesome news that this is now over and done with. So again, we still have to wait to see if the Twitter deal is going to go through. But at least until then, we now know that Elon will not be selling any more shares, and it is done just as a security measure. Now, in other awesome news, we got production numbers out of Shanghai for July. They came in at 38,719. Now, the important part about this is we know that they were down for 2 weeks in the month. So with that, we now look at production rate, and the production ramp rate is at an all-time high of 50,000 units per month. So I will be updating my production forecast due to this and increasing some of the numbers that I see in the near term, because I was a bit low in the near term. However, if you guys want to check out a Tesla bot over on Twitter, he does a great job being very precise when it comes to these numbers. So if you want to check him out over there, it's at a Tesla bot on Twitter. And we have been talking about this all year long, how production is key. And now that demand has been going up and up, and the potential EV tax credit coming out could raise demand even more, it is vital for for Tesla to have this production number going up and the ramp rate increasing. And in some other awesome news that may have been overshadowed by Elon selling his shares, Elon also tweeted that the 500-mile semi-truck will be shipping this year. So this is something we had talked about in the past. We knew semi-truck was coming. So it's just a matter of when is it actually going to be coming out. So he said it will be shipping this year and the Cybertruck in 2023. Now, I haven't gone through the tweet thread to see, because the way it was written sounded like there's a 500-mile Cybertruck coming with this. So it was 500-mile semi-truck and Cybertruck coming. So I don't know the details on that, but again, we are awaiting the details on the Cybertruck, which we should be getting by the end of this year as people start to place their finalized orders so that Tesla can start producing them. And as Elon had stated previously, they should be getting all of the equipment for the assembly line for the Cybertruck in the next couple of months, all set up and ready to go. So at that point, they'll start to run the first few tests on them, and then they can go ahead and start production. Now, he did say that we should be seeing volume production on the Cybertruck by summer of next year. So this is going to be awesome news. Again, if you guys missed it, I don't know, because again, you know, with Elon selling his shares, that was the bigger news. And that explains why we saw the sell-off last Friday, because he was selling his shares between August 5th and the 9th. So that was Friday, Monday, and Tuesday. And so again, you know, I know some people had mentioned that, you know, Friday looked like somebody was selling, somebody big. We weren't sure who it was. And now we know it was Elon. And then we had the sell-off a little bit. So this explains the underperformance of the stock as compared to all of the indices. But now that that is gone, we can start to run again. And all of this awesome news about production, semi-truck, Cybertruck, inflation numbers coming down can all allow us to run a little bit. Looking at the market as we're trading right now, looks like we are retracing our steps, and that gap that was created at 850 is now filled already. So it's a good thing, but you know, this again is a time to, in my eyes, purchase. So we saw the good inflation numbers. We are seeing the trends going in the right direction. Again, inflation is still high, something to continue monitoring. We do not know at this point what the Fed is going to do with rates. Signs are pointing to a less of a hike at this point, but I don't know because we still have hot jobs numbers, but we have the lower CPI coming in. Again, data points is what we need to pay attention to for the macro over the next month. But for when it comes to Tesla, it looks like the only overhang that we had, which was Twitter, is now gone. So it's all positive news coming for Tesla as of right now. Lots of awesome positive catalysts. So this could give Tesla an opportunity to outperform the market a little bit. I still think we're going to be stuck in the macro blanket and held down, but we could be trending a little bit higher based upon the fact that the Twitter overhang news is now gone. And now I know a lot of people were pointing out their frustration about the fact that Elon said that before, back on April 28th, that he was done selling shares. But what he specifically said was he had no more planned. And that was true. He did not have any more planned at that time. He had all of the equity partners that he needed to back and support this purchase, so he would not have to sell any more shares. Things have changed since then, and so now with this overhang and the bots and maybe some equity partners backing out due to the fact that these bots are not what they said they were supposed to be, some of these people may not want to get into this because, well, Elon doesn't want to get into it because of the fact that Twitter has basically falsified what their true bot count is. So now it's obviously going to court. So Elon may or may not be forced to purchase this at the price that he had initially decided upon, or a lower price, whatever it is. He now has to do a backup plan for this. So yes, it's frustrating, but you got to remember, just as Elon said, if there are one-off situations like this, these are good buying opportunities. So for me, I considered these last 3 days where Elon was selling as a buying opportunity, and I bought. So let me know in the comments if you guys bought any of these shares, how you feel about Elon selling, if you truly think he is done at this point, and whether you think this Twitter deal is actually going to go through at the price that Elon had initially offered, or if it's going to be at a lower price. And let me know how you guys feel about the semi-truck, because this is one of the things that's kind of flying under the radar as far as the EV tax credit goes, because if they're going to start shipping them by the end of the year, this could be amazing for next year because demand is going to be through the roof with the EV tax credit. Thinking about the fact that customers can be getting $40,000 off is a huge selling point for this. So very much looking forward to this. We'll have to see if maybe we can get production volume numbers coming out of this, because yes, they're going to start shipping, but how many? Truly, I mean, we'll have to find that out at the end of the year, because production is also going to be vital for the semi-truck as well. So let me know your thoughts on that. Also, let me know your thoughts on the CPI. Do you think that we have actually hit peak inflation? Do you think that we are truly trending down now, and the Fed might be able to slow their raising of the rates come September's FOMC meeting? Let me know your thoughts. And I want to wish you all a good fortune from North and South Fortuna. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all of the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. We do have a Discord chat. That link is in the description. And if you'd like to support the channel any further, we do have a Patreon. That link is also in the description. Thank you so much. Have a great one.